If you are learning Kubernetes, you can just go to any cloud service and spin up a Kubernetes cluster. So the more work you do, the more learning you will get.
This is the engine साफ करके दिखा, carburetor clean कर, then you get to sit in the car. Once you learn it the hard way, then you can learn the easy way easier. Work-life balance in your 20s and don't do too much effort.
You set your priorities, right? Your goal should be not getting a job. Your goal should be upskilling yourself.
What's your take on AI and DevOps? Is it a threat? Is it an opportunity? Hello, girls and boys, how's it going? On this podcast, I bring to you the unusuals and the trendsetters, people who have dared to dream and have done something different. Now, imagine a guy who does BCA in 2009 from a deemed to be university, and then he does an MCA from Pune Sengad Institute in 2012. What would you imagine this person doing 12 years later today in 2024? What if I tell you that this guy today is a technical solution developer at Google Canada? He's an AWS community builder, he's an HashiCorp ambassador, and he's a DevOps and cloud specialist. He's a content creator with over 50k subs, and he's the founder of the Cloud Ops community. Meet my dear friend Piyush Sachdeva, who's living the dream that a lot of you are dreaming about. I've spoken a lot of things to Piyush in this podcast, but mainly we focused on the mindset, the learner's mindset, and what does it take to achieve this level of success. We've also spoken about the community work. Why be an ambassador with AWS or HashiCorp or any one of these institutes? How does it help you? And what does it take to become an ambassador? So if these credentials excite you, take a pen and paper, make a lot of notes. This is a very intense conversation with a lot of nuggets filled in. Let's get started.
And so that's the first thing. You get real-time experience out of it, okay, by helping someone else. The next is you get to know the latest trends in the market. For example, when someone requests me for a video or for a series, and if I get a lot of requests for that particular topic, for example, recently I've been getting a lot of requests for Terraform. From that I get to know that yes, this is what people have been asking these days in the interviews. This is what most of the companies need. That means most of the companies are implementing these things, these tools and technologies. I am getting aware of what's going on in the market, right? So it helps me in that way as well. And
Perfect.
if you are
Okay.
someone who's preparing for the interview, if you are someone who is learning something new, and this would be a good addition to your upskilling, it helps in
Absolutely.
that way as well. And there are many other benefits that it comes along with it, but you have nothing to lose other than your time. Even you're not losing your time as well. You're investing your time in helping someone, which in the end helps you in learning something.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
win-win for everyone.
I understand. So let's talk about that, learning new things. So there is a lot of stuff which keeps happening in this area. New tools come out, new technologies come out. So what is your hack to staying continuously updated? Tell me one or two things that you do.
Okay, so first is what I do is, because I work with, Kubernetes, right, on my daily day-to-day life. So I work with all the enterprise customers of Google. So when I get an issue, when someone reach out to me, hey, this is the issue that I'm facing, try to, help them, but at the same time, I see what technology stack have they implemented. And looking at those things, you will get the pattern. Okay, so most of the customers are using Argo CD these days. So that means it is
Mm.
a good thing to have in your resume or good thing to learn next. Most of the customers are using have implemented Kubernetes in this way, or they have used Terraform, or they have used GitOps, all those things. So it's one thing, because this is the real time experience that I'm getting on the job. So yes, it really helps. The other thing is, if you attend some Twitter spaces, or if you attend some conferences, or if you see what's going on, like mostly the white papers that I follow. I do follow blogs on Medium, etc., but those are someone's personal opinion. Those could not be researched well or could be researched well. But if you follow the white papers published by the cloud providers or published by the community itself, so those are well researched and well reviewed in terms of technical review, editor review, and so on. The source of truth that I follow, and from that I get to some latest trends in the market or the best practices to apply, or the well architected
Mm.
frameworks and all those things. So mainly
Okay.
these things that helps me up to date with the latest trends and latest technologies.
So one latest trend that is eating up everybody's brain these days is this AI thingy, right?
Correct.
What's your take on AI and DevOps? Is it a threat? Is it an opportunity? What the heck is this?
It's definitely an opportunity. So
Okay.
when you are running your DevOps pipelines or CI/CD
Mhm.
pipelines, or when you have implemented DevOps in your organization, most of the customers are using cloud for the infrastructure. Not everyone can afford a data center. Not everyone wants to spend that upfront cost of procuring all the infrastructure resources, right? So they are already on the cloud. They are already utilizing on the cloud. Along with that, they want frequent releases to the production. They want small releases. They want uninterrupted releases. They want high scalability. They want fault tolerant. All of these comes with DevOps, right? So currently we are highly utilizing cloud and DevOps, but let's talk about AI and Gen AI ML era. So in
Mm.
that, these models required a really huge computing power to train the model, to deploy the model endpoints, or to make it accessible to the public, right? Again, the same challenges, when you are a startup, you have not got the funding. Let's say even if you got your funding, even then you don't have enough funding to build the entire infrastructure that could run your ML workload, that could run your AI workload seamlessly. So you would have to go to a cloud provider to lease the infrastructure where you can run all your workload. So that's
Mm.
where cloud is growing day by day. That's where people are utilizing cloud. Yes, there are companies that are moving from cloud to on premises or going hybrid, but those are the companies that are well settled, well established, and have enough capital provision their own data center, right, to procure their own servers. But not
Mm.
everyone can afford that. Plus, it will be really a challenge if we talk about scalability. If we talk about auto scaling in terms of infrastructure, if you have your own infrastructure, it will be a challenge to set up all that scaling by yourself. So that's when cloud comes in, that's when DevOps comes in, right? So I
Mm.
would say the more AI, the more ML will come into the picture, the more companies will start using it. The importance of DevOps and cloud will keep on increasing. Many of the companies are providing, for example, Google Cloud has this credit program for startups. So they are providing
Mm.
around 250K dollars to a startup who's been funded, and if they are in
Okay.
AI and ML workspace. So even cloud providers are promoting it. So if
Mm.
let's say if I am a startup and if I am getting $200,000 to
Mm.
run my workload for an entire year, why would I go and provision my own infrastructure?
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, so every company, every cloud provider is providing these kind of programs to promote using cloud for their AI and ML, and I believe it's gonna be a game changer.
Sure, sure. So let's rewind a little bit. One of the first tools that as a DevOps engineer we would typically learn back in the day was Jenkins. Now, I was looking at your channel and I saw you've made a Jenkins video a couple of days back, a full, in depth video on that.
Yes.
Why is stuff like Jenkins still relevant? It's been for, God knows how many, 20 years.
Yes, I'll answer to your question, and that is the reason I created. Actually, that video was old packaging of the playlist that I published some time back.
Oh.
But the reason why I published it now and why I promote Jenkins is the same, because Jenkins, what I feel, should be the first tool that any DevOps aspirant should learn. The
Mm.
reason being, the tools that we have today, for example, Azure DevOps or GitLab
Mm.
CI/CD, all those tools have everything built in. It has a source code, it has a build repository, it has a secret manager, it has everything built in, and you just have to write your pipeline and start using it. So
Correct.
there is limited learning. But when you are
Hmm.
using Jenkins, it is just a framework that
Yeah.
encapsulate all the plugins, all the tools together, and you have to do that integration by yourself.
Right.
Like if you want to use GitHub, you have to do the webhook integration by yourself. If you want to
Correct.
use Artifactory, you have to set the connection with Artifactory. If you
Hmm.
have to use Docker containers, you have to use plugin and set it up the right way.
Hmm.
So the more work you do, the more learning you will get. So that is
Hmm.
why Jenkins is my first tool of choice. But just learning Jenkins is not enough in today's market.
Hmm.
Jenkins is to lay a solid foundation in CI/CD. And once you learn
Hmm.
Jenkins, the next tool should be one of the modern tools that we are using nowadays. Because at the end of the day, you have to apply for a job
Yeah.
by using the tool that you have learned, and not many people will be hiring for Jenkins these days, right? So you will be learning either Azure DevOps or GitLab CI/CD pipeline or Bitbucket pipeline, or there are many
Hmm.
other in the market.
Yeah.
So learn Jenkins and then move to any other modern CI/CD tool. That's my approach, and that's what I suggest.
So you're basically saying learn Jenkins for the fundamentals and the
Correct,
hands-on work,
correct,
and then build on top of that.
correct. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
believe.
good advice. That's good, solid advice. That's how you do things the dirty way, the dirty and the hard way, and then
Yeah,
you learn on top
exactly.
of
Yeah. I mean, let's say if you are learning Kubernetes, you can just
that.
go to any cloud service and spin up a Kubernetes cluster. But what
Correct.
learning would it give you? Nothing, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's you can just run a few clicks, you can run a few commands, and then you can provision a cluster. But you will get the most learning when you install Kubernetes the hard way on your virtual
Mm.
machine, on your VM, by installing the binaries, by using kubeadm tool. That's how you
Yeah.
will learn it the right way. So that's what I would suggest.
Yeah. Yeah. You remind me of my dad, when he was teaching me how to drive the car. The first thing he did is don't sit in the car, come, let's
Rotate the
open up the
tires.
hood.
Rotate the
Sorry?
tires. Rotate the tires.
No, that was later. That was
Okay.
later. First was this is the engine साफ करके दिखा, carburetor clean कर, then you
Nice.
get to sit in the car.
Yes. That
Yeah, but
reminds
it's
me, one of
good.
my friend who used to say me like, I wanted my dad to teach me drive the car, but for the
Mm.
past couple of months, what he does every weekend, he just wants me to rotate the tires, remove the
Yeah.
the front tires and put it back,
Yeah.
remove the rear
Yeah.
tire and put it in the front. That's what I've been doing for past 2 3 months. I'm not sure when I'm gonna learn the car drive.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
that's the process, right? That's the process. You learn it things the hard way. That's how you get to know the fundamentals of it. That's how to know how it works under the hood, and then
Correct.
you
Correct.
drive the car.
Once you learn it the hard way, then you can learn the easy way easier.
Correct. That's true.
I want to drill down this point a little bit,
Sure.
because learning things the hard way is not considered cool by a lot of people these days, right?
Mhm.
The entire commentary about, work life balance in your 20s and, don't do too much effort. What's your take about that?
Like you set your priorities, right? Like if your
Mm.
priority is to get a job or to learn new tools and technologies, then you have to spend some time on it. Now how
Yeah.
much time do you have, how do you prioritize, it's up to you. I'm not saying you work 18 hours a day or just keep learning day and night. I'm not saying that. Just try to maintain a balance, but do it consistently over a period of time.
Mm.
Don't just see, okay, so we have 30 videos. I'm going to finish it and then I'll start applying for job. No, don't do that. Do
Yeah.
it consistently. Let's say if you have 30 videos or 30 tutorials to follow it along. Even if you are doing 1 hour a day, that's enough if you are practicing it as well, if you're doing the hands-on as well. So
Mm.
doing something consistently over a period of time without about the results is what it's is what make you a good engineer, or it's what help you succeed in the long run. If I keep worrying about getting 100K subscribers, that I then I won't be able to focus on my content, right? What I focus
Correct.
on is publishing the series that my subscribers need, or publishing
Mm.
the videos that could help someone. So I
Yeah.
focus on publishing those series, and the subscriber count will be an outcome of it. It will
It'll
happen
happen.
eventually, but
It'll
just
happen.
this is
No.
not my goal, right? So your goal should be task oriented, not
Hmm.
the end goal oriented. I'm not sure if
Perfect.
it makes sense,
No, it
but
does. It
that's
does.
what I see.
It does.
Like your goal
Right.
should not be getting a job. I mean, I might sound stupid saying this, but your goal should be not getting a job. Your goal should be upskilling yourself,
Yeah.
and once you do that, you will eventually get the job, but your
The right
focus
job
should
will
be on
come.
upskilling
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Perfect.
that's what I would say.
Yeah. So you spoke about creating videos and subscribers and all of that, right? A lot of people that I personally know, one of their life goals is to start a YouTube channel, right?
Okay.
But they never start. So tell me, what does it take to start a YouTube channel? Is it a big deal? And how did you get started?
I told you like how I got started in the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah.
I started with just because I wanted to share something. I wanted to preserve the knowledge that I've acquired. That's why I've started. But if you are someone who is thinking of starting a YouTube channel, think about your reason why you want to start a YouTube
Mm,
channel. With that
mm,
why, you will answer many of the questions that you will be having in your mind, right? If you want to start because you want to earn money, earn a lot of money,
mm,
if that is the
mm,
case, then which niche you will be targeting, that's other thing. Because let's say my channel is cloud and DevOps focused, how many people
mm.
will be my target audience, right? So
Yeah.
there are, like, let's say college students, maybe working professionals, that's the only. But if I want to earn money, would that be the right niche for me? Shouldn't I be
Mm.
started something related to entertainment or vlogging or something that has a lot of target audience already, which has
Bigger audience.
millions
Yeah.
and billions of people are already watching it and rewatching it, right?
Mm,
So first, ask yourself why you want to start your YouTube channel. I
mm,
wanted to start my YouTube channel because I wanted to grow my technical skills. Because if I'm
mm.
teaching something, but before teaching, I have to learn it myself as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
way of upskilling myself. That's one thing
Mm,
that I had in mind. Second is what I have learned, I wanted to share. Third thing is I want to a solid resume. I want to do
mm.
something that not many people are doing. Basically, I want to
Yeah.
stand out from the crowd. So all those things that I had in mind why I started. So think about your goal, why you want to start. And again, the same thing. People are afraid of starting it. They want to do
Mm.
that, but they are afraid of starting it. So because they are worrying about if anyone would watch my videos or not. It's that
Yeah.
fear of failure again that
Failure.
is eating up their mind, that what if no one watches it, what if someone makes fun of it. So if we think about that, we won't be able to do anything. We won't be doing this podcast, I won't be creating any videos, no one would be doing anything if we keep thinking about that. It will
That's
happen that your channel will slowly grow, but you have to be consistent. You have to do it for a period of time. Like, I have been publishing videos on my channel for past 3 years. For
mm,
past 1 year, I have been consistent. Earlier, I was doing, like, let's say one video a week or one video in 2 weeks. But now I
mm.
have been pretty consistent. But then I'm not focusing on my subscriber count.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on providing the content that could help someone, right? And then it will eventually grow my channel. And I have been doing it for past 3 years. So it's not an overnight success. You cannot expect to grow your channel multifold in just few months or few weeks. No, you have to give it some time. You have to give it at least 2 years. So now if you are starting your channel, think about whether this is something that you want to do, want to see yourself doing for the next 2 years without any results. You might have to pay out of your pocket for video editing or some thumbnail editing, maybe, right? So, are you ready to do that? Are you ready to
Yeah.
take that challenge? Can you do that for the next 2 years without expecting anything out of it? So, if you have all these answers in your mind, if you are already prepared, then yes, don't wait, hit the record button and hit publish. And that's how you start. Seek
Yeah.
feedback from others.
No, I
When
think
you share it to your friends, families, you seek feedback from them and see what you can improve and keep improving over the time. So when I started my channel,
perfect.
there were, like I said, a couple of videos. I had some good response, but then it slowly went down.
Mm.
But there'll be always few people that will support you no matter what, and those are your
Yeah.
friends and family, right? My dad, my mom, they don't understand English, but they still watches all my videos. They watch all my
Mm.
video till the end, and then they hit the like button. Many a times they comment on it as well. They don't understand anything, but they still do because they are there to support you no matter what.
Support. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
No, that's fantastic advice. Yeah.
So
That's
that's
perfect.
what I would say.
So tell me, what is your advice for, let's say, a final year college student or a person with 2, 3 years experience, right? Who
Mm,
are getting confused by all of this that is happening around. There is so much noise. When I look at a video like this, I want to start my YouTube channel. tomorrow Claude releases something new, then I want to do AI, then I want to build a rocket ship. With each news, I'm getting distracted, right? How do
Mhm.
I maintain focus to at least achieve something in life? What's your advice for them?
Yeah, I would say start something that you enjoy. Start
Hmm.
something and do it for a period of time. Plus, do not pivot from that unless you see some results out of it. Right? This could be some positive results or some negative results, but at least try it for some time. Let's say if you want to be a developer, okay, try
Hmm.
coding for at least a year before you think that this is not the right thing for you to do. Right? But spend some time, do some hustle. If you are in a college, try to gain a lot of expertise with the hands on. Don't just listen to someone, don't listen to me, or don't listen to anyone just because they said DevOps is cool, go to DevOps. No, don't do that. Do your own research, think about it whether this is the right thing for you to do. Rocket science would be something that is evolutionary, right? It is
Hmm.
something that is evolutionary, but is it something that you can do, or that you have to ask yourself? If you are a good, let's say, if you are a good, take any example, if you are a good non-technical person, but if
Hmm.
you are good at it, then but if you are good at it, then that's what you want to do, right? You don't want to spend your time on something that you don't enjoy, that you don't want to do, or that you don't have some good experience with. Spend some time, think about it, and then decide whether you want to do it or not. And just keep yourself away from all the noise that is there. And like Savinderji, you always say that check the fruits on the tree before following it. Check if you are following someone's advice, just check them what have they done in their life. And if the advice that they are giving to you, have they implemented that in their life or not? So try all
Yeah.
those things and you will find yourself in a good position. But at least do something. Don't just sit there and keep worrying about the things that are not in
Agonize.
your hand.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can keep worrying about AI and Gen AI will take away your jobs. If you can just if you'll keep worrying about it, there's nothing that's gonna help you. You have to take charge of it. Okay, let's assume AI will take my job. How can I avoid
Hmm.
that? By learning AI. It's as
Yeah.
simple as that. So there will be there was a time when people said computers will take away my job, right? 20
Yeah.
years back or before that, in India there was a hype that in all the banks, in all the government sector, all the jobs will be gone. But
Hmm.
think about the new jobs that it will create. If
Yeah.
computers were not invented, we were not even doing this podcast. We were not having our jobs. Our jobs are dependent on computers, and millions and billions of other people in IT. IT industry is built upon computer. So those billion jobs were not there if computers were not invented. Yes, there'll be some jobs that will become obsolete over the time. So that's when you have to be relevant in terms of your skills, in terms of the tools and technologies that you have learning. The jobs that will be obsolete are the ones that does not require a special skill or that
Hmm.
can be
Hmm.
easily automated,
Really
right?
automatable. Yeah. Yeah.
So think about if you are doing something that requires some sort of logic building or some sort of hands-on experience, some type of logical reasoning. So those jobs will still be there. You just have to keep improving. You just have to keep upskilling ourselves to meet the market needs and to match the market standard to stay relevant. So
Perfect.
that's what I would say.
I think it's a good answer. It covers a lot of things, right? I'm conscious of time. We can continue like this for maybe an hour more.
Yeah,
But I have one last question for you.
sure.
So, if you had the opportunity to go ahead and give one advice to the Piyush of 15 years back, what advice would you give to that Piyush?
I would say start, like, because if the 15 years ago Piyush wanted to build a career in IT, or because this is like because that Piyush or this Piyush doesn't know anything else, so I would
Mm,
say start working uh, on any programming language. Because
okay.
15 years back Piyush was very careless. Like I was an under average student. I had I failed in my 12th, and
Mm.
I had in my college as well, I had multiple back. I was not doing anything, that I was just enjoying my college life. I
Yeah.
was I was
I know what
careless
you
and
mean. I know
you
what
know
you mean.
I was careless and I was not really focusing on what's coming next. When I realized it,
Hmm.
I don't say like I realized it really late. I realized third year of my post
Yeah.
graduation. But when I realized it, after that my life become kind. But then when I joined the company, I went in my comfort zone that
Hmm.
I'm getting some salary. I'm able to expand. I never really thought of my future. I never really thought of
Yeah.
buying a house or buying a car or anything. I was just living my present moment at that time. So
Yeah.
it's while it's good to be living in the present moment, but think about is this is something that you want to see yourself doing for the next 5 years or
Long
ten
time.
years? If not,
Yeah.
then take charge of your life and do something.
Perfect.
So
Yeah. This
yeah,
is beautiful.
that's what I would say.
So you failed in your 12th class. I flunked in my engineering college. And
Oh.
yet here we are doing a podcast together.
Yeah,
This
I
is
mean
so
that's
beautiful.
all that matters, right? Yes,
Yeah.
we do
Yeah.
miss everyone make mistake. Life is not fair with everyone, but
Hmm.
the important is how do we come up with that? How do we cope up
Yeah.
with that? How do we work on ourselves so that build the future that we want, not what the future that's been planned for us, right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that's all that matters.
I think this is a good place to end it. If we can do it, then there is hope in life.
Yes,
Others can do it as
yes,
well.
definitely.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Piyush. It was great
Okay.
to have
Thank
you.
thank you
We had a
so
fun
much,
conversation.
Savinderji. It was pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.